Digital Content Creators presents the Networking Roundtable Discussion.
Okay, so I think this is our 13th roundtable. No, Jan? I think you just
Yes, I thought so. So it's 1 year right past our anniversary. I think our 13th. I maybe had two. Maybe it's a year though. I think it was September.
Absolutely. So, for those of you who have been here from the beginning, I believe maybe Scott was here, or maybe on the first one, and he's been on every one since. So, Scott, we should give you a medal, I think, or something. Okay. But yeah, so thank you for everyone. This is we've just completed a year of doing these monthly roundtables, and it's been great. For those of you who are new, welcome. We've got a really cool session today planned. And so for those of you who come every week, like Scott, you know the deal. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to get into the Mentimeter. 1 second, let me just get rid of my results.
Got it, Devin?
Yeah, I'm just sorry, guys. It's just there we go. Present. Having a little bit of difficulty. There we go.
There we are.
Okay. So I want you guys to get your mobile phones, your tablets, and scan the QR code so you can get in. Once you're in, I would like you to give me a thumbs up on the. There we go. We got our first thumbs up. 11 of you. Okay, fantastic. You 4 of you. Okay, we're really good. If for whatever reason you don't have your phone on you, no problem. We've got www.menti.com and you just put in the code 28605742 and you can also go to this link which I'm putting in the chat. So if you go to the chat, I've just put in a link and that will also take you to the Mentimeter. Well, we got 70. Wow, we got so many people in already. Okay, fantastic. So we're doing well. So first off, ooh,
No, we got the wrong slide. So
that is the wrong one.
This is last week's. Last month's.
What happened to
and we just
the
went
slide that we just had open? There we go, guys. I've got it. I've got it now. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here we are. So we're going to go into this one, which is the same thing. We're going to go to www.menti.com if you don't have it. Otherwise, scan the QR code. I'm also going to put in the chat the link that you can just open up on your devices, on your PC or whatever you're using, like so. The code 89034623. Okay, fantastic. I can see you guys here. There we go. We've got 12 of us already, 13 of us already participating. If for whatever reason you're not able to get in, you just use the code at the top, menti.com 89034623. Okay. So the topic today, which is a fantastic topic, I've been on LinkedIn for a long time. I did. Jan, how did we meet?
Oh, we met on LinkedIn for I can't remember how many years ago.
Exactly. So this is a topic that's dear to my heart. It's dear to Jan's heart as well. So the LinkedIn intervention you've been waiting for, a special 3-part series featuring LinkedIn experts sharing their go-to strategies. Today, we've got our expert guest, Michael Kainatsky. Is that correct, Michael? My pronunciation? Kainatsky?
Nice.
Awesome. I'm so proud of myself. All right. So let's get into it. Okay, where are you all joining from? Planet Earth, but where specifically within Planet Earth are you joining from? Tell us, guys. But you can put in the chat as well. You've usually got a very international audience. Louisville, Temecula, California, Los Angeles, New York, Nashville, Ecuador, fantastic. Canada. And I'm just going from the chat. We've got Santa Fe, Washington, ATL, I think it's
Wow.
Atlanta, Colorado, Oregon. Yeah, all over. Amsterdam, fantastic. Kentucky. Meet your hosts. So, Jan, tell us who you are.
Why am I still italicized? I guess that's important. I'm Jan Zucker. I'm the CEO of Digital Content Creators, for those who don't know me. We do print books, ebooks, audiobook, e-learning courses, digital and print strategy, and all around just trying to help people.
Fantastic. My name's Evan. I'm the presenter and I work operationally as well for digital content creators. Harry?
Yes, I'm Harry Westbrook. I'm publisher for DCC Van Guardian, one of the companies under the umbrella of Jan. I'm fascinated by going from publishing 3.0 to publishing 4.0 and how the new media landscape is going to develop under AI especially.
Fantastic. Thanks, Harry. And then I don't know if Christine is on today at the moment, but we have Casey. Casey, are you there?
Yep.
So
Hey,
Casey
Casey.
runs the place. Without Casey, we wouldn't be able to do this. Without Christine and Casey, we wouldn't be able to do this. So just so give them a shout out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much,
Casey.
Casey, for supporting us in the background. So first off, have you seen Michael's LinkedIn profile? Anyone here? Anyone here recognize Michael on LinkedIn? I did. Okay. Tell me in the chat as well, guys, if you recognize, if you've ever come across his LinkedIn profile. Not yet. Okay, there's quite a few of us. It's looking like 50-50.
Voted no.
Okay. All right. Interesting. So we've got some people that are familiar with you, but there's definitely enough people that are not, that you can get some new fans, Michael. All right. So Michael, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Hi guys. Well, it's a pleasure to be here. I know Jan and Harry for some time. I met them on LinkedIn, great people. So I was pleased to be able to come here and speak to you guys in unfiltered truth about the LinkedIn that most people probably aren't going to tell you about. I know Lesson Born Immigrant. I've been here for almost 37 years. I'm from Northern Jersey, or that's New York City. I have a 5-year-old son. If you look at my profile, you'll realize is 80% of everything that I believe in. I'm going to have a company page called Theo's Dad that I created on LinkedIn. And my title is Dad and Shoes. So if you wonder that's important to me, I make it clear and evident that that's more important than anything else that I do. But part-time job, I'm a 20-year veteran. I do not use the word expert because I'm not an expert in anything, but I'm 20-year veteran of sales, hiring, strategy, recruiting. I've kind of sat on every seat of the hiring and recruiting ecosystem. So I'm very vocal about that and the issues that fortunately plague today's world. I think that's my goal is to not give you guys a spiel about LinkedIn. The one thing I will tell you is if there was anybody who said they're LinkedIn experts, those are the people that probably are not LinkedIn experts. So if you ever want to go and see how many people call themselves LinkedIn experts, you'll see how many people are not LinkedIn experts. Right off the bat, those are the people you want to avoid. I'd love to hear anybody's opinion and position before I go into it, because I don't like to just hear myself talk. I actually want to hear what everybody else's opinion, struggles, frustration, love, hate, whatever you want to call it, is, particularly with LinkedIn. You would just say, this is one thing about LinkedIn that I love or hate, whatever it is. I would love to hear from everyone what it is, so I can kind of get a general consensus about what everybody believes or feels about the platform.
Your sound is not so good, Michael. It is difficult to hear your.
Really?
Maybe yeah. Now it's better if you talk louder.
It's
Oh, so-
garbled.
It's a little garbled, yeah.
So
Really?
guys, let's
I
do this
guess-
because I was able to understand, so no problem. So basically, Michael, if going forward, just speak a little bit louder. But the main goal is we want to get people's opinions on what they like about LinkedIn and what they don't like about LinkedIn. That's like the main thing. We want to be able to read the room first. So I'm just
Right.
going to pick on some random guy. So Larry Holland, can you
Yes.
tell me? What are the things you like about LinkedIn and what are the things you don't like? Just talk freely.
About LinkedIn?
LinkedIn specifically.
Mm. Well, the to message to people, you have to have a membership, or you have to have premium. So that's something I find annoying.
When you say
Are you
message
interested
people,
are you active on LinkedIn all the time, Larry?
Yes.
Okay, how are you, what are you doing there and why are you on it?
Well, to have a presence, and I make posts on a regular basis, about every 1 or 2 weeks.
okay. Nice. So you're relatively active. Like most people don't post anything, Harry. So you
Oh,
are
okay.
you're definitely like much more active than the average person, which is 0. Okay, 0 posts a week. Okay.
I would think that people in this group post often.
Okay, fair enough. I'd like to go to Catherine. Catherine L. What are
Okay,
your thoughts on LinkedIn?
thank you. I have appreciated LinkedIn for being able to identify and contact potential research participants. Also, I post, share news about publications on LinkedIn. The problem that I've had is that I haven't really gotten concrete responses to call for papers on LinkedIn. Some people like my post, but it doesn't lead to any concrete paper submissions to publication that I'm editing. Also, I do find the limitation of the message function if you don't have premium to be a problem. That there are limited opportunities to message. And I think if we could message more fully without the premium, that would be helpful.
So,
Fantastic.
Michael, you got an idea, I think, about what people are thinking here about LinkedIn. So far, you heard 2 people who can't message already. So go into the efforts about why they're messaging and what they're trying to accomplish about this.
You're on mute, Michael.
Do you guys hear me well?
I can hear you.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
So the first thing I want to tell you guys, since the common complaint about LinkedIn actually is, why do I have to pay to do more things with LinkedIn? And that is probably, I'll just tell you bluntly, the silliest complaint, because they're a business. Microsoft paid a lot of money for them, and they don't want you to do all the good things for free. That's it. If it's annoying, it's meant to be. Yes, it's supposed to be difficult for you to get anything done. If you're not a premium member, it's like everything else, right? If you know freemium, when you see a free software, you try it and they limit you after a week. Unfortunately, they want you to pay, and you go, oh God, you're expired. Now you have to pay. I will tell you that if you're in a revenue generating capacity where you want revenue for your business, to spend $40 or $50 on premium, or my recommendation, the $99 a month on Sales Navigator, just especially when you're doing that particular campaign or outreach. I think it's a small price to pay, because I know people paying a lot of money for a lot of crap that doesn't actually help them do things that you can accomplish on LinkedIn. So it really depends whether or not you're going to pay or not, to how many people you want to actually chat with. Because what you're not limited in doing on LinkedIn is sending connection requests. Meaning, you could, if you're not premium, I think you could send 50 a week or 70. Once you get up to premium, it might be 100. And once you get up to Sales Navigator, I believe it goes up to 200, or Recruiter, but you're not going to be using Recruiter program. So I would say that paying for LinkedIn is a very beneficial thing if it's part of your business, because it's an essential tool, and the amount of people you're able to get in touch with versus on a non-premium, it changes everything for you. So that's something that I think is very important to consider for why you're even here. For posting content, you don't need to have premium. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you that only 39% of the entire population of LinkedIn currently has a paid membership of any kind. That means quite a bit of people don't. 39% is not the majority, obviously. So many people get away with LinkedIn. But that's what's important to note also. And obviously, this was said earlier, most people don't post on LinkedIn. The people you see consistently creating content, while it may have a huge presence in the feed, it's probably maybe 10 to 15 million people are doing it, where they're doing it 3-4 times a week. The rest of the people on LinkedIn, they're over 1.1 billion people. The majority are just, they have a profile, it's their digital resume, and they do nothing on LinkedIn until they need something, whether it's a job, they want to interact with someone for whatever reason. So the majority, guys, you hear me? If you don't hear me, please
That's better
tell me. I
now.
see somebody.
It's better
Okay,
now.
so
Yeah.
I mean, this is what happens when you have new AirPods. I need to have crappy ones. So the most important thing that I want you guys to kind of focus on is that LinkedIn is not an input place. It is an output place. You have to first determine, what do I want to get? Then you determine what you will put into getting. Most people come into LinkedIn blindly, no light, no direction, and they just plow forward. And then a year goes by, they had no instruction, no direction, maybe bad coaching. And then they go, LinkedIn sucks. I'm not getting anything out of it. Well, that's not how it works. LinkedIn is a matter of what do you want to happen in the next 60 days, 90 days. And you have to work backwards to making sure that happens. And I'll tell you what the number one reason that most people go and post on LinkedIn, they send connection requests to people and build up a network of thousands of connections. They believe that that's a network. They actually believe this is the people that you know, but that's not true. It's perceptual. If you look at me, and I actually asked Jan and Harry to remove it, they were going to lead with, Michael's an expert on LinkedIn. No, I'm not. The only people who are experts on LinkedIn are the people who write the algorithm. They work for LinkedIn. Those are the only people that know LinkedIn. They are experts because they've designed it. No one else knows anything. There's a lot of guessing. There's a lot of hyperbole. There's a lot of guess and check. There's a lot of that. And there's a lot of people who are going to try to sell you that they know exactly what goes on. It's not true. Your followers, your connections, all of that is all, I promise you, it's BS. The only thing that matters on LinkedIn is what you're willing to give to the platform before you can extract anything from it. So if you're one of the people sitting here that says, my content is horrible. Or not my content, my engagement is horrible. My content is so good. That's because no one knows you exist. And the reason they don't know you exist is that LinkedIn is an attention economy. They are charging money from one person to sell an idea, and they have other people paying to get that idea. So if you are not out there generally supporting other content creators, and you're not doing everything you can to give as much as you can first, so that people realize you exist, you're not going to get anything out of it. That's unfortunately the reality of LinkedIn. So this is where most of the frustration comes in. So every one of you has a network of your connections. I want you to go to those connections, and I want you to see how many you have, and tell me how many, if you right now sent them a message, that they would respond and get on a phone call with you. No question asked.
So
Yes.
can let me interrupt for a second because we need to go on through the breakout room, but I have a different take on it. So I have posted twice a day for, I don't know, a year or so. I write a weekly newsletter that's with 2,500 subscribers. I have 16,000 followers and cutting them down daily. And I get 16,000 followers, 2,500 newsletter subscribers on a newsletter. When I post, I get 51 views. 51 people see it. And
You said you have a different take. What's your take?
I'm going to stop using it. I'm going to post.
Not a different take.
First of all, I just canceled Sales Navigator because it's basically, unless you are constantly on it or get some type of automation, it doesn't work. You need to pick out as you said, you need to pick out who your contacts are and engage with them and not have all the fluff around. When I first started LinkedIn, like you said, I went in, I got all these connections. 60% of them are business development people from the Philippines, from India, from South Africa. They're all going. If I come down to 5,000 connections that are meaningful, I'm happy. That's my new direction.
Tell me what you would like to see LinkedIn have. Tell me in a perfect world, magic wand for you, Jan.
So LinkedIn used to be where
What would you like?
get engagement, but it became a social media platform instead of a business platform. How many political statements are on there? How many social statements are on there that have nothing to do with engagement or business or developing a relationship? I don't want to hear about Trump. I don't want to hear about Biden on LinkedIn. Go to Facebook for that. Go to Twitter for that.
Let me give you a better example. I don't want to hear about publishing. Go to Facebook.
Fine, but my people do. But the people
What
I'm
people?
engaging with,
What people? What people? You just told me nobody engages with your stuff.
My authors, my publishers,
But you just wait. You just said no one engages with your stuff. You just told me everybody wants to see it.
But I am very specific on who I get to, and they still don't engage.
That's the point. You said everybody wants to see my stuff, but no one is engaging. Which one is it?
I've taken that to heart, and I've accepted it. So it's not a big deal to me because I don't need tons of clients. I don't work in
I get it.
Market. But let's stop the argument. Let everyone else get involved in this.
But look, Jen, you have to understand. It's not your output that is the problem. It is your input. And the only input here is the question I would ask you is how many hours a day have you spent talking to the people who you want to engage with, going and supporting their content, going and engaging on their content,
all the time.
How much and how often?
Well, I have a business to run, so it's not that I'm spending 4 hours talking to people on LinkedIn. I engage when I have to. But can we stop this and go into the breakout room and let everyone else talk?
Of course.
Absolutely. So, guys, just to like wrap it in a bow, I think that the LinkedIn Premium, the Sales Navigator, definitely, if you are doing outreach, is a fundamental tool. If you're not doing, and I will just say this, okay? If you're doing, because there's two things. If you're doing outreach, I have sold on LinkedIn mainly through doing outreach and never worrying about content. That's how I've tended to get business. However, I would occasionally create content just for thought leadership, but I had no inbound, just purely outbound. The best is both, but it's up to you to decide for your business how, what's the most effective strategy. I'm just gonna share my screen because this does tie into the first breakout, this kind of discussion that we're having. How would you turn a LinkedIn connection into a business relationship? So what's going to be the strategy? So you've connected with this person.
Brad, please.
Maybe, sorry guys, there we go. You've connected with this person. Maybe it came from inbound, someone in your content. Maybe it came from you trying to connect with them. You now are a connected person. It's a mutual connection. They can see your stuff. You can see your stuff. You can message them. They can message you in the direct inbox. How would you turn a LinkedIn connection into a business relationship once this connection has taken place? So we're going to go 9 minutes into breakout rooms.
Can I
Gonna
ask
put
Michael
you
a
in
quick
the
question before we go into the breakout room? He was asking
Of
Jan
course.
exactly how much time he spends on
please.
LinkedIn. How much time before we go into the breakout room are you suggesting that we need to spend in order to be able to see value in our LinkedIn profile?
This is a great question. And the answer is there is no answer. That's why I ask people always. The first thing I told anybody, and I used to teach a course to a bunch of, not a course, we were in a community and there's a bunch of founders in it. And they all said, oh my God, I want engagements. I always ask them, it's not about how many hours you want to spend. Tell me what you want to happen. 60 to 90 days, tell me what you want. Some people say, I want a lot of followers. Okay. Other people say, I want a lot of engagement. Great. Other people say, I want to get business. I want to get clients. You have to reverse engineer LinkedIn or else you will be frustrated because LinkedIn is not it's not a human, it's an algorithm. It's an algorithm that reacts constantly. So if you told me, Michael, I want clients, I would tell you, great. Do you have sales experience? And if you said, yeah, I have no problem with sales experience. Good. Do you know who your clients potentially are? Yes, I do. I would tell you, do not waste time unless you truly want to spending time on LinkedIn engaging. You can use Sales Navigator with a sales strategy specifically designed to the people you want to talk to and get out in front of them and spend all your time engaging in the DMs. Other people are not comfortable with selling. And that's where this content platform came out. It mostly came out with people who were thought leaders, started out a long time ago. They just wanted to post and say things. Then it evolved to people realizing, hey, I don't actually need to sell. I'm scared to sell. So I'm going to go and I'm going to create content and I'm going to create lead magnets and information. And I'm going to give my authority on the topic. And I want people to come to me. This is where all of these masterminds of social relationship selling and content strategy came out because people genuinely were scared to sell and didn't want to. So what you want to do and what you want to accomplish here has only to do with what you actually want to accomplish. Some people want to be thought leaders and post content and author. They want to be authors. That's great. Some people want to bring in business. They're not the same strategy, but some people confuse them because there's people out there confusing everyone, telling you, oh, you have to create content. Selling is wrong. Don't reach out to people. Don't pitch slap people. These are all myths created by people who are trying to sell you an idea that they know, and people are falling for it.
Thank you. I'll have a follow-up question after you come out of the breakout on what you just.
Great. Let's get into that
Catherine.
breakout room.
Okay, guys. So the breakout room is how would you turn a LinkedIn connection into a business relationship? You have 10 minutes and please allow everyone to speak in the room about 2 minutes each. Enjoy. Welcome back, John.
Thank you.
Everyone, welcome back. Okay, so I've got the rooms open here and I'm just going to call on some people to get some feedback. First, I'll ask Jan, in your room, what were you guys talking about? You're on mute, Jan.
Whether or not anyone actually got new business from their efforts on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Ben said 2 years ago he got a big client, but other than that, for 2 years, very little interaction. Both Larrys have not got any new business from LinkedIn.
What about you, Jan?
I've gotten some, but nowhere near the effort I put in.
Okay, cool. I'd like to ask for the next room. Well, Harry, in your room, what did you guys talk about in your room?
You're on mute, Harry.
This is better, yeah. So, yeah, from different perspectives, how to turn a LinkedIn connection into a business partner. First of all, you have to do a lot of more than only one conversation. So everybody shared with each other how to approach it. And actually also what Michael said, there is a lot of giving involved before you can talk business. And sometimes it pays and sometimes it
Fantastic. Yeah. So definitely like leading with value, leading with giving in the DMs. In another group, I'm gonna ask Doug. Doug, what did you guys talk about in your room?
We talked about the importance of patience and how many of us are in work or consulting activities that the lead time could be months or years in many cases. So how do you have to kind of overcome the shyness that I have, and the others in the room were saying you've got to go, and in some cases you've got to go to your contacts and have something to ask for, so that you're not just dumping, or I think one of the other folks in the room used the term pitch slapping.
Yeah.
I love that, because we definitely don't want to be doing that. So,
Pitch
constructive
slapping.
engagement.
Oh,
Can I say something
Awesome.
about pitch slapping, guys?
Please go, Michael.
There is a big misconception. Most people don't understand what a pitch slap is, and it's very simple differentiation that I think is important. Everybody who understands a pitch slap is when somebody sends you a connection request and immediately tries to sell you something that is not relevant to you. If somebody reaches out to you, like for instance, if I reached out to Doug and say, "Hey, Doug, I've talked to a lot of people that do blah, 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 what you do," and they all say the same thing. They have no clue how to sell. They're scared to do it, and they're misled by a lot of the bad advice here on LinkedIn. I don't know if that resonates for you, but I help people just like you to feel comfortable about it and actually have outcomes from LinkedIn. So what the conversation? Tell me, do I sound like I'm pitch slapping you?
Doug?
I actually had a very hard time hearing what Michael was saying. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Somebody
Yeah,
else not hear me?
so-
I heard it, but it didn't sound pitch slappy.
Why?
Because you were actually kind of like addressing me specifically, well, not me, but the me in the conversation, and targeting exactly what it was, more so that you thought I would be interested in.
Or suffering from. Right. So the lack of relevance is a pitch slap, guy. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody confuse you about, I hear, and this bothers me, I've been in sales for 20 years, and I'm talking like I'm not a young guy, I'm 43. I've been selling since we had Blackberries, and I did homework on typewriters in school. So when I hear people who say selling is bad, relationship selling is necessary, social selling is necessary, let me tell you what relationship and social selling is. It's clear there's only one word for it: manipulation. Let me try to break down your barriers so you think I'm friendly with you, so I can try to do what I'm going to do anyway, which is sell you something. There's no relationships there. And if you question that, I ask you, tell me this: how many of you have sold and done business with your relatives, your friends, or any family happily?
You're 100% right, I think. 100% right. That it's false relationships.
Exactly. And that's by definition is called a manipulation. That's why, by the way, and people say this in a lot of circles, that's why prostitution works so well. Both parties are like, we have no preconceived notions. I know what I want, here's the money for it, right? Whereas go dating, I'm gonna go say nice things at a bar, I'm gonna pretend to like you, and then what? I still have the same outcome. Why don't we just cut for the crap? That's the thing. Cut the crap, do the research. Is it relevant? Is this person a person you've helped before? Their avatar? Tell them how you've helped before and say, would this be helpful? I'm not pitch slapping you. I said, would it be helpful? If you say, no, it wouldn't. Got it. Thank you. You've now moved on. Do that 15 times a day with relevance. And I promise you don't need a single comment or piece of content on the planet. It's a waste of your time, guys. Content is designed for people scared to sell or that have an ego problem and need to have fake likes. That's where the pods come in and they go, oh, look at, I got 1,000 likes on this post. Who gives a crap? Useless, absolutely useless. That's why followers mean nothing. All the people that have followers, they're fake. They're fake accounts in India and Bangladesh that are just sitting there clicking like in the first 30 minutes to trick the algorithm. Ignore that. What matters to you guys is relevance and intent. That's why I'm asking all of you. I don't care about what effort you think you put in. Your effort means nothing to me. What is your intent and your desire for what you want to accomplish? And then you reverse engineer it to the right type of effort. to achieve that. Don't everybody complains, oh, I put all this effort in that content. I did it, I get nothing. Who cares? Who's qualified your effort? If your effort is unqualified, it's useless. Like I said, 3,000 miles in the wrong direction doesn't mean you're working hard. It means you're working stupid.
Very
I'm
good.
not capturing your main point. Somehow I've heard you say a lot of things, but personally I can't hear it. But I'm
Okay,
sorry to
Larry,
step
let
on
me
you.
repeat. Larry, let me repeat.
And
So
then I want to go to John, because John had made a comment that was an assumption that what Michael said.
for sure, but just so everyone can understand the main point is that, and I actually agree, because I can back this up from my own personal experience doing outbound lead gen. And I recently conducted an interview with an expert, a podcast interview with an expert on doing outbound for companies and setting up systems. A lot of time, people think that building relationships and personalization is what's important. And what he said, and what I've seen time and time again by A/B testing, is that relevance is by far the most important metric. Meaning, if I do a lot of hand-to-hand personalization, that is not going to get the same results as if I automate everything. As long as I can automate everything, as long as it's relevant, I will get good results. People don't care if a robot has sent the message if it's relevant. So exactly what you're saying, Michael. Basically, his argument is that relevance, making sure that you're actually selling something that is relevant to someone, that is actually an offer that they can actually that they want, is solving a problem that they actually have. That is the most important thing. So either your offer's the problem or your targeting's the problem. It's usually one of the two. So that's basically Michael's main point. Jan, you said you wanted to.
No, I wanted
talk
John said that when
Yeah.
Michael's assumption was that, oh, I just forgot what, John, you want to take it?
Yeah, yeah. I really take offense at what you say, that any kind of relationship or connection is about manipulation.
I didn't say
Because
that. I didn't say
yes,
that.
you did.
No, I didn't.
You said that relational and social marketing is at its core manipulation. That's what I
No, I
heard.
said no. I used the word relationship selling, not marketing. Relationship selling, by how
Well,
it's created.
um,
If you look at it, have you ever taken a course, a relationship social selling course?
Well, I don't care for that. I tried looking into it a couple years ago, and I just walked away feeling dirty for exactly what you said.
But
Now,
you just said you disagreed with me.
when your assumption, yeah, because when I'm trying to build relationship, and I see transaction comes after connection. And the idea is that I want to connect with people, I want to help people, I want to get to know people. And I'm not trying to manipulate them into a false relationship. I think that if you've taken that course, then your assumption is that's what I'm trying to do. And
No,
really, I'm just trying to get to
no,
know somebody. And if I come out
you're
with a
right.
great relationship, great. So
You're
you're
right.
ascribing your motivation or what you think their motivation is to people who may not have that. And I
No,
do
I'm
think that that's
describing
taught.
what
I
I'm
think
describing
that's
what people
taught.
sell.
You're what?
I'm describing to you what people are selling. I'm not describing you because you and I haven't spoken. So
Right.
unless I knew, if you told me, so you're basically right now saying that I'm describing you and you and I haven't
No,
spoken.
I'm saying what you said could be taken, and maybe I misheard you, and I apologize if I did. But when you describe and when you talk down building relationship and connection, I don't care if it's marketing or sales or anything like that. I think that what you're doing is you're taking what you learned in the course as a tactic and turning it into, you said that was a tactic for a manipulation.
Wait, you think that I took a course?
Well, you asked if I took a course.
No, I asked if you took a social selling
Yeah,
course. You
I think
disagreed with what I said.
we can move on to this now. I think we'll leave
Yeah.
it here.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, okay, what I heard through that was you saying and ascribing a motivation to building relationships. That's what I heard
No.
through it.
Yeah,
And I
that's not it.
apologize if I misrepresented.
You
Can I make
should
one
go.
statement?
Yep.
If you are selling to human beings, relationships matter.
Product matters.
Real relationships matter.
Yes,
But building a relationship for the sole reason of a transaction is not a relationship. And if you argue that, I'd love to do a debate with you anytime, anywhere.
But not here. We need other things.
Okay.
Well, I
All right,
think we're
guys. So
running out of
basically,
time anyway.
the main argument is not about connections, it's about opportunity. Let's move on to the next.
Thank you. So can I ask a quick
Yes.
question? It's very much on topic, even with that.
Go ahead.
So it's not about connections, and Michael has also mentioned about content. So I just wanted to ask the question, how much content is the right mix? Should we be using, or at all? That
First,
question was for Michael.
yeah, look, there is no amount of content that is the right amount. How comfortable are you writing? Because look, when I look at what happened to LinkedIn, and everybody is probably here because you have a frustration for LinkedIn. I'm sure everyone has some kind of a frustration with it. If you look at a lot of the content, my problem with LinkedIn is that there is no genuine honesty. Everybody's an expert. That's why I say I'm not one. Everybody says they know everything, but look at what they're doing. You can go into AI right now. Like if I go into AI right now, I can tell AI to make me more of an expert in publishing than Jan and Harry are, and it will do it. And then I can post it. And if I'm really good at manipulating the algorithm, guess who's going to get clients? Not them, me. That's what's wrong with LinkedIn today. And that's why I'm saying to you that the amount of content you create is only relevant to what you want to create it for. And what do you want that content to do is the desired intent. Well, I want people to engage with it. Why? Do you want to, because you want to feel good about yourself? Do you want inbound leads from it? That is all about the intent. So how much content doesn't matter. The best people that I know who get a lot of business, they create content 3 times a week. But what they spend a lot of time doing, because of the reciprocity game, because they don't want to feed through going into pods and having fake boosts, is they support other people like them and potential customers that would be interested in them. Why do they do that? One, it's reciprocity, but 2, the more of those people engage with their content that are in their mix, the more LinkedIn goes, oh, people in this category with this background really like what he's saying. So now they're going to boost that content out further. And that's how this growth happens. So engagement and comments is more valuable than content you create. And if as a matter of fact, I'll tell you that if you don't create any content and all you do is find 10 people that are really smart, that you really like their stuff, whether they're a competitor of yours, whether they're a customer, and engage on their content, but also comment on the comments of the people commenting on their stuff, and do that as your strategy 30, 40, 50 times a day, and never create another piece of content, you're going to have much greater outcomes here, because that comment you make is content. It's your thought piece to whatever they said and whatever the content that you're commenting on was. This is the part most people miss. So they just post some kind of a content piece and then disappear, and they hope they're going to get a ton of engagement and impressions. And LinkedIn is like, no, we're not going to waste real estate pushing your stuff out, because we know you're not going to do what is required while everybody else is. So they give the real estate away to someone who's going to do something.
So can I
That's
ask you a
basically the
question?
LinkedIn algorithm.
Let me ask
Yes,
you,
sir.
I happen to agree with you on all of this, but how do we know when the algorithm changes and that doesn't work anymore?
The algorithm doesn't change. This is the biggest misconception. The algorithm changes to screw up the people who are cheating. It wants the pods to go away. It wants people using some kind of manipulative inserts or catchy videos to get screwed. The people who genuinely support and engage on great content, the algorithm does not change for them. Like for instance, if you guys look, I could show you facts. I have a post that has 100 likes and 50,000 impressions. Then I have another post that has 100 likes and I have 1,500 impressions. Explain it.
I can't.
Can somebody explain it? And which
probably.
And which would you rather have? Tell me which one. 100,000, 100 likes, or 50,000, 100 likes? 1,500, 100 likes. Tell me which one you'd rather have.
But this brings me back to the big question, and I hear this all the time. I don't care how many likes you get. I want to know how many of those likes converted to bottom line dollars in your company.
That's
Because
what
if
I
I
was gonna
spend
ask.
100 hours a day getting likes and 0 hours getting money in my pocket, I'm just even Taylor Swift converts her likes into dollars. And so I've asked a couple times in the chat, how much direct revenue has your company or you generated based on LinkedIn only? And what was the channel that did it? How did it go from my profile to my post, to my engagement, to my conversion, to my sales page?
So for me, you're asking?
Yes.
For me, I have converted from my belief, what I believe, my content, because if you look at my content, I don't really talk about what I do. I talk about a problem that exists and how to solve it. I do a lot of personal stuff. Anything that I've ever gotten out of LinkedIn has come directly from direct outreach or a sales motion. And that could be
So excuse me, just for the sake of time. So
Yep.
basically you just said, don't waste your time posting because there's no revenue in. Instead,
no, I said for me, I'm okay with selling.
So if I want to be Michael and be successful, then I need to go hunting, not gathering.
You need to go be active and snipe rather than throw something out and hope that somebody comes in and takes the bait. But I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying for me, because I have a background in this.
Okay,
so I know how to do it.
As somebody that's a salesperson by nature, can see it all over. How has your company grown directly from LinkedIn then?
Outreach.
If I want to grow my company going hunting, what is the strategy to succeed at that? And then what is the outcome I can expect?
Sales Navigator is essential because Sales Navigator on the premium allows you to search like a sniper in a very finite matter to actually, remember the relevance part, to bring only the people to the forefront that you want to reach out to and talk to. So that's number one. You need Sales Navigator. If you, depending on how big of a ticket item you have, if you're selling something very, very expensive, you don't need automation because there's no reason. What you need to know is how LinkedIn works. So I'll tell you that LinkedIn, a lot of people don't know that you can message people that you're not connected to. So the typical sales strategy on LinkedIn, which is horrible, is send a message, send a sales pitch in the connection message and hope that they accept it, which most people will ignore. The second thing is let me send the connection request, wait for them to accept it, and then send the sales pitch. But if you have Premium or Sales Navigator, you are able to send 800 times per month. You are able to send a message to anyone else that's a premium member, which means they'll have the gold LinkedIn badge next to them. You'll be able to send them a message for free and not have to connect with them. If you use that strategy alone, plus relevance, you will, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, I'm saying what you have to do and don't have to do, not want to and not. I know the most successful people on this site, they barely create content. They barely waste time engaging. Relevance and outreach.
So
because they don't want to waste time.
Message. So in your outreach message, what is a typical generic format for you? Or take me through your SOP.
So my message is, so I'm fixing sales problems. Let's say I look on LinkedIn, I sort a bunch of companies that have jobs posted. So I'll reach out and say, hey, Eric, I noticed you got some jobs posted. The clients that I've worked with, they've had tons of turnover, wasted time vetting AI bot resumes, and just had positions open far too long. I design systems that eliminate this. You don't have to pay for expensive agencies, and you don't have to waste your time with job posts that generally lead to bad hires anyway. Curious if you want to have a chat, so I can tell you how I do this, see if it's relevant. That's one version.
Okay, and you make 800 outbounds through LinkedIn a month, or
800 to people I'm not connected to. I
and
can also send
response on those 800.
I'll give you an aggregate because I don't track second connection versus first, though I can give you by campaign if you really want to see the data. But in 2020, for the last year, I have sent about 13,600 messages. I've received about 2,300 responses. That equates to about 17%.
Okay, and of those 17, the bottom line revenue?
17% responses. And again, when I was doing this for the last year, I was not doing it for me. I was a chief strategy officer for a startup advisory. I was fundraising. I was building a community that we were selling. I was connecting people to particular clients they wanted because I was running the strategy for several members of the community. So my response to 17 is probably much lower because I wasn't even selling for me. I was actually doing this for other people.
Yeah. And so going back to the first sentence, your mic is really hard. Was it 1,300 or 13,000?
I sent 13,600 messages
out,
and I received 22 to 2,300 responses.
And then dropped to 17.
No, 17% is the percent response rates.
Okay. Sorry. And then of those that converted to bottom line,
It's very hard to say because I was doing it for other clients. I was
Okay.
fundraising money. So one client got $1 million fundraise. Another person got 15 people on a TV show that they were doing that paid them $50,000 to be on it. I mean, like it's, you know,
I
it's
understand.
millions,
Well,
millions.
So it's 1
The answer is
o'clock.
millions.
I have no problem staying, but I just want to be aware of the time and be, you know, grateful for everyone being here, but not impose on them. So if you'd like to continue, I'm open to it. Just let me know. Anybody who wants to leave, we can leave. So
Absolutely, guys. So like it's been a great session. I definitely think that for the follow-up session, it'd be good if we, because there seems to be a lot of interest in doing outreach and conducting outbound sales and how to do that successfully. So I think we should probably in the next session, Jan, we should definitely explore this and just go through kind of like how you would do it successfully.
the next session will be the exact opposite of what Michael said. It will be a LinkedIn automation tool, and he will give you his way of doing LinkedIn.
LinkedIn automation is not the opposite of what I'm saying.
Well,
That person,
yes, but it's sort of different than what you're saying. It's another aspect of LinkedIn that people use, some successfully and some not successfully. He has created his own automated system. And from what I've seen, and I've used it for a while, it's really good for certain people. And again, everything needs to be geared to what you want to accomplish, especially now in the age of specialization and creator economy. It needs to be specialized. So I don't look at 16,000 contacts anymore. If I had 5 or if I had 10, as Michael said, that I can reach out and get one client from, I'd be happy. And that's my new strategy, is to focus in on who is important to me.
and that's where the tools come in. I'll warn everybody here. I've taught a lot of people how to use automations and all that other stuff. The automation is dangerous unless you understand what you are doing and what you want to suggest. It's kind of like giving a 15-year-old with a Ferrari is not a better driver than a 15-year-old with a Toyota Corolla. Matter of fact, he's more dangerous because you can hit the wall faster. That's why it's very important. What you see on LinkedIn is a lot of people using automation that don't actually understand how LinkedIn works. And they think that this automation tool or AI is going to make them better, smarter, and more efficient. Well, efficiency, that's great, but potency is not.
Oh,
Because
if they find out, they will ban you. They will restrict you.
that's
They will ban
exactly
you.
right.
And it happened to me. 10 days, nothing, no contact, no way to get in touch with them, just silence. And the 11th day, I was back on LinkedIn.
But you have to sign a contract, never do it again.
With a letter saying I broke community standards, but without telling me what the actual crime was. So I didn't know what I did.
The algorithm picked up that maybe you're doing something that's unnatural, which is why I say do not use automation unless you understand it. If you're not active on LinkedIn in all the right ways and you're using automation that is far exceeding what you've ever done naturally, they're going to pick it up because the algorithm sees a spike in your activity out of nowhere. And they're going to this guy's definitely not doing this because he's done nothing and all of a sudden it's 50 in one day. That's why understanding LinkedIn is much more important than how you use it. And that's why I'm always showing people this is the right way to do it. And you don't need automation in all categories. It's not the end all be all. That's why I say, what is the value of your tool? What is the value of your product? What is the value of your service? 5 conversations a day with some research might be more valuable for you than 100.
Thank you, Michael.
Fantastic.
I think this was a great session. Does anybody have any other questions before we end it? Anybody want to make any comments before we say goodbye?
Thank you, Michael. Your responses were really valuable. I like that. Really sort of balancing that. I actually am going to try that. Find 10 people that find 10 people that are either my competitors or that are similar to what I'm doing, and comment on their comment and comment on the comments in the comments and see how that works. So thank you for that. That's a new strategy, and
And if anybody wants a trick, I can show you guys a quick trick that you can actually highlight exactly who you want to engage with without having a tool right inside of LinkedIn. please, if you want me to show you guys, just reach out to me
Yes.
and I'll show you because it's very valuable. If you want me to make a video and send it to I'll send it, then I can do that. But if you have something particular to your use case you want to see, I'm happy to jump on a call and show you. It'll take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but it'll be the most valuable thing you'll see as far as how to manage engagement. So
Do
you
a
at least
video.
can do it.
Do a
I
video
love
on
that
that,
quick.
Michael. That'd be
I love
great.
that
That'd
quick
be
tip,
really
Michael,
good.
and giving. If you could send that video to Jan, that would be
I will,
perfect, and perhaps
I
we
will
can
give
send
it
it
to
out to,
everybody.
Yeah,
and
Sure.
then Jan can give it to everyone. So thank you so much for that.
Of
thank
course.
you, Michael.
Michael, we're gonna have
Yeah.
it back. After this is all over, if everyone has learned what to do and what not to do, then they'll understand more what you know. And then we'll come back and we'll have just Q&As. How's that?
A lot more what not to do than to do.
A lot more on what not to do than what to. And I know that from personal experience. So I want to thank you so much, Michael.
Okay.
No, guys,
Thank
it
you,
was a
Michael.
pleasure.
Greatly appreciate
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
You were a great
Mhm.
guest.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody.